guys, I wanted to make a little review on the MT-07. I've been riding this bike for about 4 months now. I'm kind of new to riding. I got my license 4 months ago. So far I have a lot of fun riding this bike. Well, during my motorcycle lessons I had plenty of time figuring out which bike to buy. I decided I wanted to ride a naked bike. Well, the main reason for that is that I love the looks of the naked bikes, and there were a few different models I was looking at the time. For example, the Kawasaki Z750 and the Duke 690, I think, were the two models I was really interested in. I just went on the internet checking out the prices of second-hand bikes. I really didn't want to get a bike much older than 2 or 3 years, and while I was looking through these bikes and deciding what model I should buy, I kind of came across the MT-07 and watched a lot of videos on that model. Obviously, one of the reasons this bike was very interesting is the price. I think it was available at the time for just a little over 7,000 euros. It's the 2015 model. I personally really like the look of this bike, and the performance compared to the price is very good. I think that was one of the main reasons it immediately went to the top of my wanna-have list. So I got my license. I already ordered this MT-07 at a local dealer in the Netherlands, and I was so excited to pick this bike up. I remember leaving the local dealer with this MT-07 and I just couldn't stop smiling ear to ear when I left this place. Now, after owning this bike for about 4 months, I have almost 3,000 kilometers on it. That's enough hours to give you guys a good impression of my experience on this bike so far. Well, obviously one of the most important things to love about this bike is the weight, or better said, the weight that it doesn't have. It's so light, it's very easy to ride through corners, to throw yourself in a corner. For example, this little ride I'm making at the moment you're looking at is it's just so easy to throw yourself in and have fun and not worry to crash immediately. And I think that's one of the most important reasons I didn't want to get a more high-powered bike than a 7 or at the most an 800cc bike to begin with. As far as the performance, I think in the low revs there is a lot of fun on this bike. You don't necessarily need to go very far or very high in the revs to get acceleration from this bike. And to me, that's one of the most important reasons. It's that much fun to ride. You hop on it and you go. You don't have to worry the gear you are in or the amount of revs you're making. Torque at this bike is just very easily available, and everything up to I think 130 kilometers an hour is it's just a lot of fun. Everything after that, well, the acceleration is still there, but it just doesn't go as fast, and the torque isn't that much there. To me, that's not really an issue. I think for the type of ride that I like to make, just cruising around, speeding a little bit and going through corners, it doesn't necessarily need to be very fast on highways. It's a naked bike, so it's uncomfortable anyway. One of the most important cons on riding a naked bike is that you have to deal with wind noise and wind in your face at high speeds. So I personally try to avoid highways. It's just not comfortable. Of course, you can throw on a windscreen, but it doesn't make the bike look very good at all. So at this moment I'll deal with it and just try not to think about it that much. Maybe you do need to think about the helmet that you currently have. I bought the Chaser V, a Ride Chaser V helmet. It doesn't have that much wind noise. I think it's pretty good. So you need to think about that when you are riding on a naked bike. Just get a helmet that fits you well. That's the most important thing for safety anyway. Well, another thing is that earlier I mentioned the price of this bike, which is pretty decent. For owning a new bike, I think the MT-07 is one of the bikes that delivers just a lot of fun for not that much money at all. The only thing you'll have to consider is the sound that you get with the standard exhaust. Let me be simple, it's just terrible. Just from the beginning I threw on the Akrapociv exhaust. It's good, it sounds better, it sounds a lot better, but it's expensive. A little too expensive if you ask me. I know there are a few other brands out there, but I decided to get the Akrapociv anyway. But I think I ended up paying just over €1,000 for it, and well, as I said earlier, it's a lot of money. I noticed that the exhaust gets a little louder over time, which is a good thing, but I still think the exhaust, the Akrapociv, could have been a little louder anyway. So of course I've been watching videos and reading content about people getting the DB killer out. It's way too loud in that way, I don't want to do that to my neighbors. But I think a good solution could be to make the DB killer a little shorter than it is by default. So a few days ago I ordered an extra DB killer, so if I mess it up I'll have a spare one, or have a spare one anyway, to just to test the sound and to play around with it. When I'm installing the new DB killer, I'll try to make a video with it so I can show you guys later on. If you have any other questions, please let me know, and please enjoy the video. Cheers!